What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MIRE. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Brandon Fury. We are live from the All-Star Music Resort in lovely Lake Buena Vista, Florida. If we're being really specific, we're at Disney World, everybody, on the senior class trip, but we would never leave you in the lurch for Montgomery boys basketball in the Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. Boys, how we doing?
Great. The fact that we're up, we're live, we're going. Oh, man.
Happy to be at Disney, man.
You said it. I hope it's nice and cold at home because it ain't nice and cold here. It's nice and warm right outside these doors. 82 degrees and sun all day today. We'll rub it in as best as we possibly can in this pregame show and probably throughout the broadcast if you know us at all. Guys, tonight, this is a pretty exciting one, I think. This kind of brings me back to a couple of years ago, and I'd say it's more than a couple of years ago now. It's over a decade ago, to a week where I left Montgomery not really with any expectations come home to still playing basketball. But took Montgomery a victory over East Brunswick, a very talented East Brunswick team, and a very talented Rancocas Valley team in some major theatrics. And before I realized it, we were on the bus sitting at the airport, and nobody would get off of the bus because we wanted to hear. We were listening to the MIRE when we were just only radio, hearing that we were locking up a berth in the CJ4 final at home. Now, certainly we're still a little bit of ways away from that, but this to me feels a little like that insofar as this is a team where we have a player who, in my opinion, is, and you're just going to get an inside Disney look right now. Oh, I was going to tell him to come in. I think Sam Nowak outside was being a little too courteous in terms of knocking on the door, not realizing that, we do this in front of a live audience at a gym all the time. James Lupos on that team back in 2010, the best player on the court. Today, we have Ryan Curry, best player on the court. He's going to be the best player on most courts. When you have the best player on most courts or on high school court, you have a really good chance. And then when you throw into that, guys, the fact that, Montgomery's got a head coach like Chris Grundy, who I would say, with the exception of most games, or with the exception of very few games that we play against maybe like a Phil Colicchio or whatever, I think we have a better coach. So you have a better X's and O's, and you have the best player on the court. You always have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than a chance tonight, too. With the way that they've been playing the last, 4 or 5 games, we've seen the best basketball at the end of the season, which is exactly what you want, because you're hoping that we're peaking at the time state tournament comes around, and that is kind of exactly where we are.
And you guys are going to talk, because I got to actually do it. I got to do a thing. I got to answer a phone call from a child here on this, so you guys keep talking.
All right, so, Brandon, what have you been seeing over the last couple of games, especially county tournament, state tournament, that you've liked?
Yes, I mean, I definitely think we're peaking at the right time. To me, it's the not Ryan Curry players that are the key to our success.
Right.
When you see Matt Levy hit 2 threes in a row, and that was a big turning point.
Those corner
against
threes
against Hightstown.
Those corners.
I think it was Luke Smith hit 1, and then Levy hit 2, back to back to back to put that team away. And that Hightstown team was a good team. They came in fully expecting to win that game. So if we keep seeing that from the role players,
right.
We're going to have a lot of success because we know what Curry is going to bring every night.
And the last couple of games, Keith and I have talked about just seeing how defense turns into offense and realizing that when we kind of have one of those possessions where they really just stifle the other team, they get runouts, they get easy buckets, and then once that happens, their momentum, they're one of those teams that just seems to run with it because when it's going well, the ball movement's good, the spacing is good, Curry's out there dribbling around forever, doing whatever he wants, and then everybody else has opportunities.
Yeah, and it's something that we're going to need to see tonight. And I think these guys getting one state win under your belt is going to give them all the confidence in the world to do it again because they already did it one time. They're not in that first playoff game jitters that everybody has. They're through that now, and now they can really succeed and reach that full potential.
Were there first playoff game jitters? It didn't look like it.
Didn't look like it. I mean, to be on the road, too, to just be this comfortable, having to play on the road more than you would like to, that is very encouraging, too.
Well, to me, I actually have always thought this. I've had this theory through the years that you play in the playoffs at home, the likelihood that you get upset or that an upset occurs for the home team is so much greater because there's for high school kids in the psychology of teenagers, you know what I mean? You're like, listen, this is a team we're supposed to beat. We still, the final, we could host it. You're not that you're like looking past anyone necessarily at this time of the year, but if it's going to happen, like, you go on the road and you are like, okay, there is no room for error. We need to be supremely focused 100% of the time. We need to make sure we're giving every single thing that we have because it's going to be relentless in there. And that if we are not on our game the entire time, and you know what, now maybe that breeds some extra focus. And if the other team has lapses in focus, that's when upsets occur. So, of course, we're trying to make lemonade out of, sunflower seeds here, but who knows what we're going to see tonight is, I guess, what I'm getting at. You've played in these games in situations like this. What's a playoff atmosphere like in terms of differences from a regular season, even a big regular season game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I lived the home playoff game upset my sophomore year. Like you said, we didn't look past Randolph. We knew they were going to be a good team, but we definitely thought if we were going to lose before the state championship, it wasn't going to be that night. The atmosphere, it's going to always be a little bit bigger with the playoff game because this is it, right? This is the last time this could be the last time you're going to take the court with these guys. So you got to leave it all out there. The fans know it. They're going to be active. It's a different level of atmosphere.
I personally love it. I mean, there is no doubt that the old cliche that you have gamers and then you have other people who are just like, they maybe shrink necessarily, from time to time when you get into big spots. The great part about this team is that its best player is an absolute gamer. When the times get tough, he rises. He does not shrink. And that is just, you can't undersell that with high school, like especially when we're talking about high school kids. That gets lobbed at people in the pros. And human beings are not immune to circumstance, right? To the pressure, surrounding them. And I just believe that, and it's, you know this maybe better than anybody else because you've been forced to listen to my dumb rear end, as a counselor for 4 years. But I'm constantly using that phrase. When you are growing up as a human being, one of the things you want to ascribe to be, who do they want in crisis? You want to be one of the people that somebody looks to in crisis. Ryan Curry is that guy, and you know that better than anybody else because of how close you are with him.
Yeah, I mean, if your best player doesn't show up in the biggest game, it's safe to say you have no chance. And I think everybody, a part of Montgomery basketball, a part of Montgomery High School, I think we know that our best player is going to show up, and it's about the other guys hitting their shots, making the most out of their opportunities. And if they can do that, like you guys said, I mean, we really can hang with anybody, whether it's Gill, Rutgers Prep, because we saw this team hang with those guys. You don't get much better than Gill. You're not going to see a team much better. They knew it going in. Counties was going to be could be harder to win than states because of the teams that are in our county. So you're going to go against those guys. You can go against anybody.
Lest you think that there's nothing going on down here at Disney, folks, that this is one big vacation. The ups and the downs of just this pregame show of what we have to do, there's always something to actually be done. So it's not just totally a vacation, but we do have some fun. There is no doubt about that. Fury, you talked about, you needing your best player to be kind of assassin-like and clutch, in those big spots. Games as you continue to move through the state tournament, though, you cannot win them unless you get contributions, significant contributions, either kind of spread out evenly or somebody goes off. Typically, that's just kind of been how things go. For this team on a night like this, who might that guy be?
Well, last game it was Matt Levy who had 16. I'd like to see it be JT Szymborski tonight. I think we've kind of been waiting for his big game because he's had them throughout his career already. And obviously he still has one more year and hopefully 3 more games this year. But I'm ready for him to go out and hit 6 threes, hit 7 threes, go off because that's something we need. whether it's him, it could be Gordy, but Gordy's been kind of consistent, giving us that double-double. Maybe it's Levy again. But I'm confident that one of the young guys, at least one of the young guys, maybe even Luke Smith, right? One of them is going to step up and be that second guy tonight. And like you said, it hasn't been somebody consistently, which can be a good thing, can also be a bad thing. So we'll see how it plays out tonight.
We've talked about, or I've talked about this with a couple of folks down here before, obviously off the air. This is the first time we're back on since Hightstown. But you just said double-doubles out of Gordy. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about what happened the other night and really what transpired with Ryan Curry and the game at Hightstown. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, 5 steals. Chris Grundy has been the head coach of this basketball team for 17 seasons. That is the first triple-double in the Chris Grundy era. And I'm here to tell you that if you didn't watch the game in its entirety, it didn't look like it was all that hard. I didn't walk out of that gym going like, oh, my gosh, he was unbelievable. And if for those of you out there thinking, well, I guess maybe that means did he, luck into those stats? Was he a compiler? No. That is just a function of the fact, Matt, that he makes it look so darn easy. You look up and you're like, oh, yeah, he's crushing it.
We've been spoiled so much that we can see him play that well. And we didn't think, he didn't play well. We obviously understood that he played very well. But we also left going, well, that was good. Next round, that'll be good. But at the same time, he contributed or scored just about every basket that game. He was around the ball doing literally everything.
And he's been flirting with the triple-doubles all year, so I was kind of waiting for him to get one. I knew he doesn't care about the stats and stuff like that, but, it's obviously something that's definitely
pretty cool to hear, though.
Yeah, so I knew it was going to come, and, I mean, your best player getting that feat in the biggest game of the year so far, can't ask for much more than that.
I mean, you could. You get 5 more steals, and we're talking about some history.
Let me tell you something right now. We're going to need it again tonight, Mr. Curry. I know you're not listening right now, but you know what? From our lips to whoever's ears, as I always say. All right, we are going to take a break for well, you know what? Let's not even take a break. Let's go right to it after this. Had a chance out in the kind of courtyard-esque situation that we have here at the All-Star Music Resort. For those of you that don't know, the leader of this trip for the last 20-plus years, Mike Girvin, a legendary figure, both as a educator and as the kind of coordinator of this senior class trip to Disney. He's retiring at the end of the school year this year, a significant loss for our school community. And we had a chance to sit down with him kind of informally and hopefully that'll bring you a little bit of kind of how the temperature and the climate of, pun intended very much, by the way, of how things are down here in terms of we can get a little informal and you really can see behind the scenes about who people are. And it's one of the regrets that I always have when we come back from senior trip is that you all will have this enhanced relationship with a lot of the chaperones that go on this trip. And then 2 months later, you're graduated. So, we don't have enough time to enjoy it, but it is what it is. So we're going to take you right over to that now. My interview with Mike Girvin, the senior class trip coordinator at Montgomery High School.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MIRE. Keith Glock, Mike Girvin, Nick Milo, Yannick Smith. We are live from Disney World in Orlando, Florida. We're getting set for boys basketball today as Montgomery and South Brunswick will lock up in the Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. This is a little less than traditional way, Girv, that I would want to interview somebody, but welcome to 2022, right?
Yeah, well, it's so true.
So first off, I hate that I can't stand here and look you in the eye when I say this, but you can see that maybe my eyes are actually looking at you through the picture here, that this is for everybody who doesn't know, the last senior trip for Mike Girvin at Montgomery High School. Dude, you're calling it quits. How many years has it been?
On the senior class trip?
No. Just forget about the senior class trip for a second.
How 34 years.
34 years in education. And we can see what that did to your hair.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, so
definitely.
With all seriousness, a quick dime's worth of reflection of, Montgomery in the last 34 years.
Wow, I got to tell you, it's I've never worked a day in my life because of the kids at Montgomery High School. I can't say enough about them. I can't say enough about the school, the teachers, the administrators. It's been so much fun to be around this town, this school system. I just can't say enough about it.
Now, we almost had what I would describe as a tragedy here this week. And lest anybody think I'm being less than facetious here, I am certainly keeping in the true MIRE tradition. I'm going to flip this camera around if I can. Here, I don't know if this is going to let me do that while I'm videoing. Well, I can't. So you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm just going to have to stand up. And the tragedy would have been, folks, had this man, the former principal of Montgomery High School, Paul Papaduke, not made a surprise appearance. I don't even have a microphone for you, but you can say hello if you want there.
Hello, Montgomery.
All right. So Mr. Papaduke graced us with his presence on this trip. For that, we're super excited about it. Girv, you are certainly one of the people, along with Mr. Papaduke, who kept this trip alive throughout all these years. At times when some people might have said, "Well, no, I don't know if we need to keep this kind of thing going," and you know, how special is the 5 days that we get to spend down here annually?
Well, it's special just because that's such a lead up to college, and kids grow up on this trip, and they see that they what they have to do in life, and how they have to just go through life without mom or dad telling them what to do. So it's a special time, this trip.
And let's not make any mistake about it here. This is also pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I'll second that. It is it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for the chaperones. It's some work, but it's fun for the kids. They're tired. For those of you who are listening and went on this, you remember how tired you were, but you kept going. Had a great time.
Now, one of the people that you've gotten to work with through the years, which has pretty much been everybody, right? By the way,
Yeah.
It feels like through the school system, and one of the reasons why most of the people are tuning in tonight, the head coach of the Montgomery Cougars, Chris Grundy, a veteran of this trip, a teammate of yours on coaching staffs through the years. Talk about Grundy a little bit and just kind of like what he's meant, certainly to the program and the school, and now kind of serving a couple of different roles as athletic director and basketball coach.
Yeah, Chris with a K, does a phenomenal job with the basketball program. He's a loyal friend. He's a loyal coach, loyal to his kids, loyal to, when I say kids, I mean his basketball family, and his family as well. But he just takes everything in and does a phenomenal job for the school, for his basketball family. I can't say enough about him. He's a good guy, real good guy.
It's another one that he's trekked you right along with everybody else. No, just kidding. We know our love for Coach Grundy on this broadcast seemingly knows no bounds. You're talking about Grundy, and it made me think of just how the brain works a million miles an hour, and the relationships that he's able to build. Certainly with his players and with kids, in school when he was in the classroom. This trip and being the supervisor of it, or whatever your title actually even is, requires so much building of relationships with kids, and the sheer volume of kids that come on this trip annually is humongous.
Yep.
How in the world have you been able to do what you've done in terms of building those types of relationships with kids?
I had a kid years ago had a tattoo on his arm. It said, "Respect is earned." A lot of it has to do with respect and just building a relationship with a kid and getting to know them and being a part of their lives, and then send them on their ways. And it just I always talk about respect, and that's exactly what it is. It's a lot of respect, and once you earn that from the kids, it's all downhill from there.
You have any favorite memories that just kind of like fly off the charts to you about this trip, besides Yannick Smith?
From throwing kids in the pool to just there's a lot. There's a lot of favorite memories. You know, some of the rides, going on the rides with some of the kids, walking through the some of the parks, and the kids chanting my name, Mr. Belusu's name. You know, those are some of the things that you'll never forget. You know?
This is a fantastic thing that has been built, and hopefully will continue on well past the time that you are have left us, which is sad in and of itself. But you know, I think it's only right that folks try to keep this kind of thing rolling, because I agree with everything that you've said.
Yeah, I agree, and you know, whoever takes it over has to take it to the next level. You know, when I took it over, it was at a good level, and then we added some things to it, and now the next person is I'm going to pass the torch to whoever that is, and they're going to take it to another level. You know, it's such a fun trip for these kids, and it's a deserving one. You know, these kids do a lot. They're stressed. This is this de-stressing trip for these kids, and tiring, and they keep pushing along. But it's so good for our kids. It's like I said before. It's a lead up to college.
I could not agree more if I had to put my mortgage on it. Last thing we always ask when we have guests on in the pregame, you are setting the very highly illegal high school lines on FanDuel tonight for Montgomery and South Brunswick. And what's the spread on this ball game?
Monty by 2.
Monty -2. You heard it here first. Kyle Rarick went -12.5 the other day. We were a little surprised against Hightstown. Turns out that maybe he didn't push the envelope far enough. So from your lips to whoever in the world's ears, that's what we say. Girv, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes with us today. And thank you for so much more than just sitting here with us and talking.
So welcome. So welcome.
This has been just one element of our pregame show. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're live in Disney World. They're live in, I guess it's Kingston, over in South Brunswick. It's the quarterfinals of the Central Jersey Group 4 boys basketball tournament. We're bringing it to you remotely today, not from the Command Center in Lawrenceville, but live from the All-Star Music Resorts in Disney World. Don't go anywhere. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience.
Go Cougars.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mire. Keith Glock, Matt Bogue, and Brandon Fury. Live here from Lake Buena Vista, Florida, as we're set for boys basketball in the Mire. Let's bring you the starting lineups first for the Vikings of South Brunswick. They come into the game with a record of 18-8. Yathin Vamula, he will kind of handle things for South Brunswick. He had 20 points the other night in a win over Middletown North. Damian Downs, Shyheim Davis, Brian Rawls, and Harmhar Chabra will round out the starting lineups for South Brunswick. And the starting lineups now for your Montgomery Cougars.
Josh Moore, sophomore, point guard. JT Szymborski, junior, guard.
Aryan Gordy, senior, forward. Matt Levy, junior, guard.
Ryan Curry, senior, guard.
We'll see if the crowd noise situation improves here. There's just a lot of pixelation that we get when we try to translate this for whatever reason tonight from South Brunswick's YouTube. So we'll try to keep an open eye on what we have there as you see the South Brunswick starters being announced in their gym. Guys, this is a really, really athletic team. Between Vamula, Damian Downs is a pretty good shooter. I would say, and he'll go number 2, by the way. Number 1, number 2, number 4. So a lot of single-digit stuff that Montgomery needs to stop today for South Brunswick if we're going to be successful.
I want to see us come out and run our offense the way that we played at Hightstown in that last quarter. Because the way we move the ball, I mean, you can beat any team if you're playing like that. So I just hope that carries over.
Just confidence. I want to see it from everybody on the floor. They've all shown the capability to hit big shots, make big plays in big moments. Just got to go do it right now.
The Montgomery advantage today will again be height. Biggest guy on the court for South Brunswick is Chabra, and he's 6'4". So Gordy clearly is again going to have a huge height advantage. I said it before, just when we were kind of talking off the air. Gordy gets in foul trouble, we're in trouble. Gordy stays out of foul trouble, and he can be a force in the lane and make them only shoot jump shots. To me, that's just it's a world-changing thing.
Yeah, we want him to alter shots. He doesn't need to block everything. Just being there, being a presence, deterring people from driving, like that really will help everyone else on defense rotate.
Agreed.
You feel pretty good having the better coach, biggest guy, and best player on the court. So let's see what happens.
Well, we'll see. Levy drawing the assignment on Vamula again there, but Vamula able to catch, and he'll fade away and miss the first one of the day. And you see Mr. Curry there to box out, and he'll run quickly the other direction. Gordy's the trailer. He's going to try a 3. Oh, that's no good. That would have been a heck of a way to start this one.
For sure.
I mean, I don't hate it. If he's open, I'd love for him to be able to hit that shot, but, we'll see.
Montgomery in that matchup zone that it plays so well, confuses other teams, and a catch and shoot that time from Damian Downs. And, he's not quite what we saw the other day as a shooter, but he certainly can knock it down from the outside if you let him.
See this press early. Montgomery going to have somebody other than Ryan Curry bring the ball up.
They'll go inside to Gordy, and he has it blocked from behind, and now they'll try to run out the other way, and it's just a ball that slipped out of the hands of Downs, it looked like. You see South Brunswick blitzing the ball screens. We knew that was going to be a thing. Szymborski's going to drive and kick. Couple of extras, and they're going to get an offensive foul, though, before that as Szymborski had the tables turned on him.
They're fast on defense. You can see it. They're all over the ball, whether it's in the full court press or in the half court with the traps. So we're going to have to move the ball just as fast as them.
I mean, it's a gamble for them to put that much pressure, though, because especially on that play, a couple of plays ago, Gordy getting doubled like that leaves someone open. If he can get that entry pass and get it back out, they're going to be in trouble if they can start to pick that apart.
Travel violation there. I feel like I kind of want to almost deal with some of that pixelation just to get whistles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's like basically they have the camera that's, or the mic that's on the camera in the wall on, and that's why, like, anytime it gets any kind of noise on it, you see that it's that kind of pixelated. Gordy has it poked away, and South Brunswick's going to try to run. Curry's going to get back there and knock that one out of bounds. And they're going to say that that's off South Brunswick. That's a great play by Curry.
It's a huge swing there. That could have been a momentum switch right there for South Brunswick after they get the steal, but Curry there to make the play.
He had a couple of plays like that against Hightstown, too, where he's able to just kind of figure out how to attack the ball without really reaching.
Curry this time says, we're not going to really play around with any of this stuff. I'm just going to take this thing over myself. Gordy's going to go to work, and they're going to get a travel inside on the big 6'10" forward.
So that was a very different look on defense from South Brunswick. Gordy had pretty much all the time in the world, and he wasn't getting rushed. So I'm wondering if they're going to choose to double him or really just not worry about it.
I think that so far we haven't seen South Brunswick do anything that Montgomery was not expecting. Vamula, as they go double team there. Gordy did a good job to give ground, and great help defense by Szymborski results in a steal. Curry crossing over into the lane, craftily no good, and luckily doesn't get called for a foul, but South Brunswick's going to try to run, and they're going to get an offensive foul that way.
JT signature.
That was one of those, he gets called for the charge, and again, this is just the officiating part of it. It almost means it's more likely you're going to get that call down the other end because you just had one called on you.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at it against Hightstown, everyone almost was called a block, so just different every night.
But you know what? I didn't have an issue even with what happened in the Hightstown game, other than the fact that the first one was called a block.
Right. That set the tone.
At least
I don't know if
they kept it consistent.
Now that one I don't like, because that felt like he wasn't necessarily there and Levy didn't really get kind of the direct contact that I always felt you needed.
I'm not a fan either of the I released the ball and now my momentum is carrying me somewhere that's not affecting the play at all, and you're still jumping in late. Like I hate that call.
Alas, it is what it is. I'll celebrate it again in a second whenever we get the next charge called for us.
That's how it goes.
3 in 3 minutes so far.
Another three-pointer there. 2 3-pointers in the last 14 games for Chauber, so that's the third. But one of the notes that Montgomery had on Chauber was, do not stand there and let him shoot, because he'll knock it down as he did there. Montgomery's still looking for its first points of the evening as Moore picks up his dribble, and Curry will come and get it from him. You see the athleticism of South Brunswick there, and not quite sure what we have going on there. A little hitch in the giddy up, as they say, and Gordy's going to get called for, or they're going to get a call on Gordy there.
Yeah, it's tough, I know, dealing with the contact down low, but want to see him finish those around the rim and convert some and ones.
So Gordy's in search of Montgomery's first points of this one, and he's short on the first one. South Brunswick's gym kind of just a little like almost a clone of Montgomery's. Gordy's 0 for 2, so Montgomery is still in search of its first points.
And you can hear the atmosphere in there, the South Brunswick fans. We see them right here. They're letting us hear it.
Montgomery's going to go to the bench for Davino, it looks like. And Levy is going to get a foul call as he kind of just got turned around a little bit on Vamula.
He got beat to the spot a little bit, but not much you can do. He's still trying to stay in front.
Donahue will join Davino. Good job by Davino. We already know what assignment he draws. And we're going to get a foul. That's probably going to go against Curry if I had to bet. No, they're going to say
Gordy with
Gordy.
the body. Maybe got him with the body there probably.
That's a tough one, and a lot of that is because of the closeout. He closed out hard, which is what you want, but at the same time, he left the middle open, so he's out of position to get back.
First one's good for Chabra. So a little bit of a different beginning for Montgomery offensively between Hightstown and South Brunswick, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely. And not a good one.
You talked about pregame jitters in a state game. I hate to say it, we might be seeing a little bit of that.
Yeah. Ugh.
And a turnover for Josh Moore. And Luke Smith now is up off the bench.
Just seems like they're not ready for them flying around at us when we're trying to bring the ball over or even in the half court. Just got to be comfortable and confident in your ability.
I mean, this is one of the more cohesive kind of passing and cutting and running teams that we've seen them play this year. I mean, everyone is flying around. The movement on South Brunswick offense and defense is very good.
Vamula is just very slippery. Tried to go up and under, and he's there to get his own rebound. He'll kick back out for Rawls, and his three-pointer is good. It's a hot start for South Brunswick, 11-0 run to begin this ball game. So if you're going to dig yourself out of a hole like this, you really got to start pretty quickly.
I know who might start that.
Curry. What a great use of spacing. And he'll step back and pull up, no good. And Vamula's got the rebound. But Curry says, anything you got, I got just one and the same. And he'll get Montgomery on the scoreboard, as you alluded to, Matt.
Yeah, take the lid off. A little bit of sigh of relief with that.
Oh, that's a late foul call against Gordy. Montgomery's in trouble here if they don't call us on 35. They do. Montgomery lucky.
That was very close to being 2 on Gordy.
That would have been my worst pregame nightmare come true.
Ooh, MIRE curse.
Oh, my God. We are the worst. First one is good from Damian Downs. He's a 5'10" senior. He's a very capable player, both off the dribble and from the outside. Just one of those kinds of guys that you really wish you had if you're any really head coach. As the second one is no good from Downs. Curry will try to go quickly as we get a little interruption of the stream signal here and a break the other direction. We're kind of at the mercy of some Disney Wi-Fi here, so we apologize. There's not a ton we can do in those situations. Montgomery might need a timeout here if McGrundy can help it, but he doesn't call one, and instead South Brunswick will go the other direction and finish. And now he'll get a timeout. 16-2 is the opening run in the first 5.5 minutes for the home Vikings. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the Mire. We turned off everything internet related in this in this room, so hopefully we can make sure that things stay on time for you. As Curry will feed Gordy all the way down court and get Montgomery hopefully rolling a little bit offensively.
And that's huge, especially after a timeout. You knew they drew something up specific, and to execute it there, that's a big boost for them.
Stops and buckets can only, as we said the other night for Hightstown, and it worked. Gordy facing up against Chabra, and he'll get the first stop for the Cougs. So now, can Mr. Curry answer as he comes the other way? Davino into the paint, leaving for Gordy.
Oh.
And another offensive foul.
Looked like the FAR official might have wanted to call that block, but did not. definitely a 50-50 one.
I want to see Montgomery settle into some offense. They've really struggled to kind of get in their half-court sets, and that will oftentimes lead to why you only have 4 points.
I mean,
6 minutes in.
They've been running, which is good, but right now, like you said, I don't know if that's working. The transition, South Brunswick getting back, they're set up even when you think you're running out on them. So
I feel like you kind of have to set up your offense, which opens up the transition, and then that's where you can change the game and transition.
Slow it down and speed it up.
Yeah.
$1:35 to go in the first quarter, and South Brunswick out to a pretty commanding lead on the Cougs, and we're going to get a travel. So a couple stops in a row.
Yeah, that was a great closeout by Gordy, too. He stayed much more stable. He was able to stay with Jabra as he cut.
Curry off the dribble, and that is knocked out of his hands uncharacteristically. Wow, a great sharing of the basketball, and a great fortunate call for Montgomery.
Risky, but it worked.
Sometimes you get lucky, and, you know, it's one of those situations that I would love to tell you that I really understood the block charge. I mean, and I think probably anybody that says they understand block charge or, you know, foul necessarily at the rim, as Curry will knock down a three and get Montgomery back within single digits.
That's huge. That's huge.
I think those people that understand that or claim they do will be lying to you. But quickly the other direction, and a bucket from Damian Downs gets South Brunswick back on track.
Yeah, as much as we complain, it's a lot of variables in that. The shoulders, the feet, the movement, where the ball handler is, it's not easy.
Great extra pass from Gordy.
Donnie, you saw the backdoor lane and took advantage of it.
Donahue and Gordy combining on a defensive play. Shaheim Davis.
Donahue's shown the capability of stepping in and playing really big minutes for Montgomery over the years. Maybe over the year we can see that tonight.
And we'll get a foul on Davino as he hooks an arm around the waist of Davis. Or check that, Vamula. And that's already the 7th team foul, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
So there'll be free throws coming here from Yathin Vamula. He averages almost 15 points a game for this South Brunswick team. Again, 18 and 8, and he is knocked down the first to earn a second.
To get out of this quarter down.
Single digits.
Yeah, 10 possibly 11 is it's kind of fortunate.
2 for 2. My prediction would be that if Montgomery wins this one, Curry's going to sleep well tonight because I don't know how much rest he's going to be able to get. He'll throw all the way across the court for Donahue. Steven has his pass deflected. That's a mark of a good team, isn't it? You know, you always have your hands on the basketball, hands up in passing lanes like that.
Yeah, deflections aren't always a stat you're going to keep in high school, but it is an important thing.
Tim Maloney, King's captain deflection for Montgomery all those years ago. It's just so long. Szymborski will go back for Curry now with 10. Nearing the end of the first quarter, can Curry get Montgomery back to within single digits? He'll pull up a three, no good, and Montgomery will try to track it down but cannot. We have played 8 minutes in South Brunswick. It's the quarterfinals of Central Jersey Group 4, and Montgomery's got work to do. We'll be right back with the second quarter coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the mire. Only kind of the mire, Pogue.
It's sort of the mire.
Jeez, we giving away all of our secrets. There you go. That's better. Goodness gracious. You spent all that time making scoreboard graphics and then just tip our hand right there. So speaking of, we do this because of all of the fanfare we get, all 760 of you, but there's always a family out there that we consider special, near and dear to our hearts, and one lovely lady today. It's a birthday for Malia Bassford. How about that, huh?
Hey, a loyal fan deserves a shout-out because she puts up with us.
She does more than put up with us. She's like possibly the most loyal fan that we have. 8 years old today. And was a little upset that Dad's got to be on the road, I think. But happy birthday, Malia. Thank you, as always, for tuning into us and hanging out with us as you watch Dad coach. Luke Smith will handle for Montgomery to start the second quarter. And Szymborski, they know how dangerous he can be if he gets hot. Curry with a great job to leave it for Gordy, but Gordy couldn't handle it. Curry ends up with it and pretty wide open and knocks down a three.
That did not start well as a possession, but ended up with 3. So
listen, you'll trade that in, right? As if you said, well, let's just be a little more patient, you'll get an extra point out of this one.
I mean, Curry's also only open on that shot because where he's spotting up is farther than most people think you need to defend a 3. So I think the defender relaxed for a half second. Curry took advantage.
Good defense by Gordy, and Montgomery may have numbers if they hurry. Curry's going to run the other direction. Little give and go. He'll try another one. No good. Gordy, though, uses the height. Kicks back outside. The sharpshooter Smith, no good. And Mamula's got the rebound.
seems like they are settling in a little more, especially on defense, which is letting them get those open shots on offense.
Just limiting the turnovers, too. That's such a killer when you just can't even get the ball moving. But this, last 4 or 5 minutes has been much better.
You knock down one of these, one of those threes on the last possession. If you can get something here and get to within, 5 or 6, you feel okay about life here. They find Szymborski. Can he get them there? He can. It's a 5-point game and a timeout.
All the momentum back with Montgomery.
How about that? Right back in it. And no, maybe not. Thought it was a timeout. Not a timeout?
Just sub? What
was that?
Saw a timeout kind of signal.
We're
not the only ones
confusing.
confused. We're not the only ones.
Quick break, I guess.
Oh, there's something over on the left side of your screen here. Maybe it was just like super wet down there, and they needed to stop it.
Very important thing.
No doubt about that, right? You go to hit the brakes, and then there's no brakes. That's a problem.
In any circumstance.
So Montgomery has played its part in getting back into this one here, and let's see if they can stay on it. Mamula, runner, no good. His follow, no good, and Gordy's got it.
Curry was smart. He kept his hands down when he was standing there, so there's no chance that he gets the contact on that shot.
Szymborski, no good, but Gordy back there to put it back in, and Montgomery's within 3. And offensive foul. Hey, listen, what did I say before the first quarter? I was going to tell you I loved it when we got another one back because that was absolutely not a charge.
That was a great call.
Just the exact same way that the other one that Montgomery drew wasn't a charge down the other end, but at least they're consistent. And here we go, a possession to tie it. You could see it coming. And you know what? Again, this is just from the officiating perspective. I will bet my mortgage that those 3 guys got together at the quarter break, and 2 of them said, yo, that was real suspect. When the next suspect one we get the other direction, we got to give the same way.
Right.
Like, it's just got to be. And you know what? Whether you think that by definition they were the right call, because I don't think either were, it was consistent.
Yeah.
And you brought it back to even.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just be consistent. Now, I'm not saying from here on to make consistently not charge calls called charges, but you now at least feel like nobody's getting jobbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't send, we always talk about if Montgomery went home and lost this game and you never called that extra charge against South Brunswick to kind of get it back to even, they have something to hang their hat on.
Yeah.
You never want to send them home with something to hang their hat on. South Brunswick has changed some things up, and they are really pressuring Curry with Downs, and we'll see just how that plays apart. I don't know if Downs is ready for this kind of cardio. We'll see. They sent 2 guys at the ball. It leaves Smith open to try to tie it. No good. Gordy's there for
Gordy
a
again.
rebound. Oh, and he misses a chippy. And we just can't miss those as the game goes on.
But, you know, seeing him active on the glass there is big, too.
Curry's going to get called for a foul underneath. And that's a no-brainer on that one.
I don't even know if he needed to help that much.
Right. But then again, you know what? From here, obviously, it's very difficult from a couple thousand miles away to really tell. But
you sure?
On camera, it looked like he might have got a healthy piece of him. First one's good for South Brunswick and Vamula.
This is like a whole new definition of armchair.
Oh, yeah. we used to feel like we were remote when we were at the command center in Lawrenceville. We're taking this to a whole different place.
At least the time zone's the same.
That's true. Montgomery is pulled back within 5 after a very stilted beginning.
I'm ready to put it behind us. Let's forget about that beginning.
Curry stuttering for Gordy, keeps it high and finishes. That's a play. I don't know that he makes that play in the beginning of the season.
No, that he's been working towards that all year, but that's huge. He sees how much easier it makes his life. It's not a contested layup anymore.
Curry gets a piece of it. Can he steal? Can't tell. Thanks to Huddle Cam. Love Huddle Cam. I take shots at Huddle Cam whenever I can. A 3 from the corner, no good. And guess who? The Jackrabbit. There to pick up the rebound.
He just ran all the way around the court in like 2 seconds just to get the rebound.
Putting on the brakes there, and now Sutter. He'll pull up. Trying to use the window, no good. Good defensive play from South Brunswick as Vamula will try to run. And a turnaround in the lane is no good. Both teams really settling into some fun basketball right now.
Yeah. South Brunswick's really struggled at hitting those shots inside, and that's what's kind of kept it close here as Montgomery's went on this little run.
Donahue into the lane. No good. Gordy, though, he's got it again and lays it in. Montgomery's within a point.
Gordy is playing out of his mind right now. At least 4 offensive rebounds, and it's all starting with his defense has really stepped up after the first 5 minutes. Nothing is going in the paint for South Brunswick.
They'll go to the post. A quick double. Gordy still there and rejection.
And helps him up, too.
Listen, we're courteous, baby. It's what we do. It's how we roll. Courtesy out the rear end from the Cougs. Try to get back into this one. Now, look, you said you want to forget the beginning of this game. I do not want to forget the beginning of this game because I think this is something, and that is something you draw on now as the game goes on. You can tell them, if you're Grundy, you have taken their best punch. You stood in the middle of the ring, and they hit you in the face 5 or 6 times, and look at where you are. So if you withstood everything that they had early on in this one, the rest of this game can be yours. Here's Vamula, and he tried to shrug off contact from Donahue, and I don't really know. Steven was upset about that for reasons unknown because he just needed to move his feet, take a better angle, but, you know, it is what it is.
It never feels like you fouled him, though. It never does. Never.
Grundy certainly pleading his case over on the near side, and I don't know what case he's pleading, but it is what it is. Vamula's first free throw is good. And you know what? That's one thing that all those offensive fouls early in the game did. It got South Brunswick into the bonus very, very early. At least for the Cougs, the fouls were spread out a bit.
Yeah. To not all be on Gordy was the biggest thing that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
got to tell you, even if he picked up another one right now, I wouldn't take him out.
No, you stay in. The way he's rebounding, the way he's spacing the floor, leave him in.
Because this is the other thing, too, right? It's the playoffs. You don't necessarily do everything the same way you do it in the regular season. You just don't. Here's a catch and shoot from Donahue. And can't get it to roll as he was looking for the tie.
And that goes in on the Hightstown rims.
Yeah. No, it hits the stanchion on the Hightstown rim. 2:55 to go in the first half. Montgomery's come all the way back from being down 14 at 16-2 to start this game. That's exactly what you want from Gordy there. Yes. Get him to take that step back pull-up.
That's as good as you can play it from Gordy right there.
Wow, Lucky inside, and they're going to send Donahue to the line as that wild pass from Gordy almost got stuck on the underside of the rim.
Lucky's a good way to describe that. I don't think anybody meant to do that, but you're on the line.
You have to, because to say that the beginning of this was a struggle for Gordy, that's certainly an understatement because he started off not playing well at all. And then, I feel like if you're Gordy, you got to feel like, okay, not only did I kind of get myself back to even, I'm controlling the middle of the floor in the paint in this game.
Confidence does a lot of things. It can make you just play as well as you're capable of without getting all the noise in your head, stopping you.
1 for 2 for Donahue. It remains a 2-point game. Luke Smith's rest is brief as he's trying to get back into this one. Downs with a drive and kick. I was talking to Steve Tuckerson, who I've referenced many times on this broadcast as a 3 is good. That time from Brian Rawls. And, looking at the scouting report, likes to shoot the corner 3 is the big note in that on Rawls.
Yeah, we see him in the corner. Got to have a hand and probably more there.
So I was talking to Tuck about this because Tuck lives in South Brunswick. His daughter is a senior at South Brunswick High School, and they'll get a foul on the outside on Vamula. And I said, because he pays more attention to the girls' basketball team because his daughter is a softball player, grew up playing softball with a bunch of these girls, and it's just kind of where he navigates, I guess. But he said, I watched a couple of boys' games, and they have a kid. Number 1, I think he goes, and he's really good. He's shifty, and he does a lot of good things. But sometimes they go like a quarter, and just don't get him the ball. Like he just runs around, and then they're like, oh yeah, we kind of forgot that we have him on our team. Well, here's to hoping that they forget that they have Vamula for another quarter. Gordy, as Curry will come to help, and now, great slip screen. Gordy goes to the hoop and lays it in.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's the kind of thing that comes with the kind of chemistry that Curry and Gordy have developed over the course of the year, right?
It's really grown a lot stronger because, obviously having Rabayo last year playing that Gordy role. But these two, they look as good as ever now.
Vamula, he'll pull back, and it's in and out. Gordy's got the rebound, and now he's going to get fouled.
Let's go.
Can't tell whether that's the 5th or 6th team foul. I think it's the 6th. Yeah, no free throws yet. So it'll be free throws from here on in the last final minute for both sides. Cougars again with a possession to pull within a point or possibly tie as they will go into the full court press for South Brunswick. Curry able to break it without any trouble whatsoever. And the Cougs will go to work. Patiently as ever, Gordy will step out for a ball screen, and Curry dancing around as he is wont to do. Moore. They're going to get a foul. That was a bit of a bailout. The contact was there, but I guess maybe I'm more focused on the fact that it was just such a dangerous pass into the paint.
Yeah, dangerous, but a couple inches away from being a big bucket there.
Watching Moore play the amount that we have, I would much prefer him go into the paint and try to finish himself, to be honest. And who would think that you could say that, really?
We haven't seen him on the line as much the last few games, and I think that's the problem. He hasn't been doing what, he really does well, which is getting into the inside.
Though what the hell do we know? Because he had 7 points in the first 3 minutes the other day at Hightstown, and doing it in all sorts of different ways. So
listen, the people signed up for uninformed opinions. That's what they get. That's what they get.
You know what? I might consider putting that in all of our bios. If you want uninformed opinions, we're your people.
I'm informed about something. I don't know if it's the right stuff.
Right,
but.
Not the stuff we're watching. It is what it is. South Brunswick's going to try to take the last shot of the quarter. Levy's trying to give a little bit of instruction on the bench as an extra coach. With 3 seconds, and now with 2. A little run out. Great job by Curry to get a hand up there, and it forced a wild shot. We are essentially right back where we started. The 4-5 matchup in Central Jersey Group 4 so far is living up to the hype. South Brunswick 27, Montgomery 26. We're at halftime. We'll be right back. Statistics and now maybe not statistics because again you're here for uninformed opinions.
Oh, you're reaching there.
Big time.
We'll guess.
We'll have a guessing game when we get back. Third quarter's coming up. You're caught in the mire. Welcome back to the Mire. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and Brandon Fury live from the All-Star Music Resort in Lake Buena Vista, Florida on the Montgomery High School class senior trip. We're bringing you footage live from South Brunswick High School back in New Jersey. We hope that you're all buttoned up with your mittens up there because it's shorts and sandals down here, baby. Fury, too hot for you, Fury? Are you a warm weather guy or a cold weather guy?
I wouldn't say I'm either because if it's too hot, I will start sweating profusely.
Yeah.
But if it's too cold, I always just complain. Whichever one it is, I want the other.
Okay.
That's kind of how
You
I
know
am.
yourself.
I have a rule. You're only allowed to complain about one. You can either bitch that it's cold or bitch that it's hot. You don't get to bitch about both. So figure that out. I don't need an answer now, but figure it out. All right, just make that happen. So, all right, guys. To put this back into some perspective, a fantastic result in terms of the first two quarters. If you take into account that Montgomery was asleep at the wheel for the first 3.5 minutes of this ball game.
Well, they turned it around. They turned it around.
Kind of a tale of two quarters there, down 20-9 after one, and go 17-7 in that one. So gotta keep it going. I think we can all tell Gordy was the key to that when they were getting in the paint, doing what they wanted. Gordy was missing layups. Everyone on Montgomery was turning it over, couldn't handle the pressure that they were giving. We saw what happened, and then when we calmed down and settled in and know our capabilities, then we saw the turnaround.
I would be shocked if we didn't have Luke Smith. To me, played a very integral role in that first half. I would be shocked if he's on the bench for very long.
Yeah, Donahue played well too. I'd expect to see a lot of him as well.
We saw the results from the other end of the bracket and some other results from around the state, and our good friend Justin Salton up at Watchung Hills, new daddy by the way, finally got a boy. It was him and a whole mess of girls in that house, and him and his lovely wife Laura just had a baby boy. So congratulations to him. But a crazy ending at Elizabeth as a layup no good from South Brunswick to start it. As Elizabeth with a putback at the buzzer to beat Watchung Hills, and that was just a heart wrencher. And the other side of this bracket is Curry will feed Gordy again inside, and a great play defensively, and they're going to get a carry, actually.
Wow. Yeah, that could have gone a couple other different ways there, but I'll take that one.
Yeah, Manalapan has advanced.
Marlboro.
Sorry, I am the worst with the Marlboro-Manalapan confusion. Marlboro has advanced as a backdoor cut, and they're going to get that one off of the hands of South Brunswick. A 13-point victory over Howell. So should Montgomery win tonight, they will go to Marlboro to play on Friday.
We'll be here.
We will be right here in the warmth.
Making a lot of friends. A lot of friends.
Don't care. Don't care right now. Be better. That's what I say. Gordy, and he's going to get fouled from the behind, and he'll go to the line. You would have loved to have seen that one go down. But Gordy's got two shots here. Montgomery is this is the best possible last quarter and a couple minutes I can remember them playing. You know what I mean? Because when you combine the fact that they have come all the way back, it's on the road against this particular team, I mean, this has been pretty amazing.
For sure. This isn't a bad team by any stretch. This team fully deserves a chance to go and play Marlboro just as we do. So it's going to be a battle.
As one of my favorite announcers to watch in any sport, Ian Dark, might say in a time like this, Gordy has brought them level. And now a missed layup is on the floor, and they're going to get a foul on Simborski.
On the body.
Little hip check there. Trying to box him out.
If JT just kind of went for the ball, like he went so far laterally, I think, that it like kind of gave it away. I almost feel like if he just took a step directly to the basketball, he might have just not gotten that call. Curry tried to sneak around the end. And another three. Wow.
Ooh.
How about that? 2 threes, as we said, in the last 14 games coming into this one. He's got 2 tonight.
It almost feels like when he wants to shoot it, it'll go in, but he just doesn't take it as much, I guess.
Levy. Oh, and he can't get it to go. Oh, but Levy will go to the line. I really thought they were going to call a walk.
I did too. It was a shuffle with a pro hop, but maybe it was a gather. I don't
It's
know.
the quarterfinals, folks. Let me tell you right now, the whistles get swallowed a little bit in a game like this, as they should. We always, we say that too from the officiating standpoint. Yeah, make it a good one, please. You know what I mean? If you set the bar so low on some of these things, you'll be here all day.
Exactly.
You know? These teams are here for a reason. Let them play. And those, I'm not saying to blatantly ignore like fouls and hits in the head and things like that, as Levy's 1 for 2 from the line. But like things like that, you want to allow like an extra half shuffle step in there. Yeah, I think we're okay with that in a quarterfinal game like this.
Montgomery needs to shoot better from the foul line because it's not getting it done,
Levy.
especially if they're not going to convert those and ones.
Great job by Matt Levy. And a travel there. You know what I think that's a function of, too? Is that's Chabra putting that on the ground. I don't know that call gets made if that's a guard.
Is it the way it looks?
Yeah,
It's not fluid?
I think it's one of those situations where you're like, well, this guy isn't the typical ball handler, so what I thought I saw, I probably saw because he's a center. I'm telling you, that's how the officiating brain works. Curry using Gordy again. He'll go to the window. No good. Gordy's got a rebound again, and he's hit no call. He's got a rebound again, and he finishes. We're tied again at 30.
That is huge. Just Gordy being what he is, the biggest guy on the court, keeping those arms up there, gets it to fall.
The Moolah, as South Brunswick looks a little scattered so far. A baseline drive. That's no good. Gordy's got another rebound. He's got to be in double digits by now.
Easily.
Curry, this is a spot usually for him, and Levy will leave it inside for him. They'll go extra to Gordy, and he's got for the lead. South Brunswick's going to try to run the other way. Szymborski. What do we have?
I think it's
Gotta be the charge.
right?
That was the.
Looked like it.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, now we do get the signal.
Yeah.
It is an offensive foul.
Because Szymborski does it so often, he was just like, yep, all right, I'm going to go the other way. I knew I got that one.
The signal could have been almost like I'm like, did we get it in one? Did we get it another way? What do we have? Oy, the drama. Montgomery has retaken the lead, 32 to 30. That's why we just got the YouTube delayed reaction out in the courtyard from everybody out there as Montgomery took the lead. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, another reminder, we are definitely in Disney, just so everybody knows. Loud and clear.
Everybody's outside, no coats, nothing. Watching this one. Live on the Mire. Happy to bring it to you. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and Brandon Fury. And the senior who could not be here because he's busy at work is Ryan Curry. Levy into the lane. A tough floater is good from Levy.
And didn't look like it was going to go in, but I guess it.
I mean, the crossbody layup fading away is not normal, but I like it.
Wow. Another three from Chabra. Like, if I'm Montgomery, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. You can't change the game plan because he made 3 today. I mean, it's just not. It's not normal.
Yeah, I think you got to put a hand up.
Yeah.
Maybe
not a crazy closeout where you're trying to block it. You just but just get there.
What I think, again, because he's a big, doesn't necessarily put the ball on the floor all the time like that. Mm-hmm. You want to like almost fake a run out. Give him 2 real hard steps and stop.
Make him make a decision that he's not used to making.
Because he does that, and then he's going, oh crap!
Was I gonna go? No.
What? But now, am I right? Am I reading that right? Is that the 4th foul on Brian Rawls?
Yeah, that's what it says.
So that is a big deal.
That's a quiet 4. I don't remember that.
No, neither do I. But that's what offensive fouls do for you, I suppose. Montgomery leads it by a point. And you got to wonder if that's the kind of thing that forces South Brunswick into being, having to change its defense. And they're going to get a traveling violation on Montgomery.
Yeah, that was very good defense from, I don't know his name, but number 3, just with Moore all the way, giving him no room to breathe.
Trying to find. I don't even have a roster with a 3 on it, so that I could tell you.
That happens more than you think.
I know, it's crazy. Speaking of 3s, no good, and they're going to get an out-of-bounds play from South Brunswick.
Ooh, that slight hesitation on jumping for that rebound almost cost us.
Kalani Antoine, good hustle, but out of bounds. And you see Montgomery's athletic lineup coming back into play here as they'll get it into Gordy, it looks like, and now right back to Curry as he's done all night long. Levy thought better of that one. I don't know that you want to go back to that well too many times in a row, right?
I don't know, the fadeaway crossbody. Yeah, okay, good call. Yeah, okay, good call.
Instead, it'll be Curry as he's working on Vamula from the foul line. Yes.
Nice move.
Wow. I don't know why I say wow. Why am I still surprised?
Really good move there from Curry, creating separation when there wasn't much to be created, but he found it.
Great job by Levy to get to the spot, and they're going to call an N1 here. That is, I thought, really good defense from Levy.
It's just tough call there.
He definitely agrees.
He didn't even jump. Hands straight up in the air. That's what you teach, right? You stand there and stay straight up and down, and, you're supposed to be in pretty good shape with the officials.
But in reality, that's his 3rd now, so he'll take a seat.
Luke Smith is back in the game as Yathin Vamula is going to tie it.
Well, we're due for 3rd quarter Luke then.
We are due for 3rd quarter Luke. Don't let us down today, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, do the thing that you have no idea that we're even talking about.
That's right. Once again, proving we are a bunch of morons. Live from Florida this time. Stephen Donahue, he'll take it and lay it in with some English off the window.
The hesitation dribble did that.
That was a situation where I thought there was a savvy bit of defense played there, and a crazy up and under from Kalani Antoine gets us back tied at 38. That defensive play from South Brunswick I thought was
nice.
Well done, as a foul is going to go on the inside against Chabra. They kind of did what we discussed about doing against Chabra. They kind of blitzed Donahue for a second and made him make a decision, but Steven athletic enough to be able to adjust on the fly. Luke Smith, he's going to go right to the hoop, and he'll throw up a floater. That's no good, and they battle for the rebound, and it will be taken down by South Brunswick. They run the other direction. A 3, no good, and Davino had it for a moment but lost it. Haven't been a ton of second chance opportunities tonight for South Brunswick, but this is one of them. And they will not have a 3rd as Stephen Donahue pulls down a rebound off the miss.
I think that's a really good point that they haven't had a lot of second chance opportunities, which we obviously had with Gordy the way he's been playing.
Donahue with those springy legs. Great job to stop and start. Smith, a floater, no good. Luke has it poked back outside, but it'll be Donahue. And now Curry, oh man, and maybe a timeout from Grundy, a second too early, as Curry was kind of moving in for a step-down three-pointer. That was one of those that you see that one coming, and you're like, no. And, of course, Curry's shot was off there, but it is what it is. Whew. I'll make it, I think. If anybody's got a defibrillator, we might stand a better chance. Let's take a quick break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. just talking to Montgomery principal Heather Pino and Nurse Bernadette Rabbit, and they were having problems on Monday watching multiple things at the same time. I don't really understand that. Just get another couple TVs, okay? Basement, couple TVs, you'll be fine, all right? I speak from experience.
Yeah, he's got a starter kit you can probably get.
Sell it to you real cheap.
6 TVs and some fake bricks.
That's right. Goes a long way. Here's a backdoor cut from Donahue. And there. Whoa, no way. No way. No. Oh, my goodness gracious.
That's bad.
That ball, that was out of his hands.
That's
Yeah.
bad. That's
no,
bad.
that's a terrible call. And
Wow.
they'll hear it from Coach Grundy, I'm sure.
Wow. That was a break for South Brunswick.
It's a great play by Donahue. I mean, to find that wraparound pass.
Very aerodynamic with that new haircut, and they're going to get a steal. And Donahue's going to go to the hole, and did they call an offensive foul? Please tell me they didn't call an offensive foul on this. Oh, my goodness. They did. Holy mackerel.
Wow, really?
Third foul on Stephen Donahue.
Those are 2 very confusing ones.
Oh, come on.
I have to laugh or I might cry. That's bananas right there. But if you're Donahue, this is a spot where you have to just calm down, I think. And we're going to get a steal. Another 3-on-1 here. Curry's going to throw it up ahead for Smith. And Luke is going to get pinned against the backboard. But Stephen Donahue's there to track it down. He looks for Gordy. Grundy's going to try to get a timeout. And the ball's going to get picked up by South Brunswick. They'll run the other way. A floater off balance. That's no good. It's knocked around and into the hands of another South Brunswick player. And they'll reset it with a minute to go in the quarter. How about that series?
That was everywhere, all at once.
Kalani Antoine trying to look for another lead for South Brunswick, and they're going to get a foul on Donahue. That's going to be his 4th.
See, I don't understand that, though. How is the trail able to call the contact when Donahue's away from him?
Listen, it's going to be what it's going to be right now, and Antoine is going to go to the line, and his first one is good. Szymborski's back in, and Stephen Donahue will sit down.
He made some great plays in that sequence, getting some steals, some rebounds. Unfortunately, none of it's going to show up other than the fouls.
2 for 2 from the line from Antoine, and Montgomery will trail it one more time. That almost feels more deflating, that last couple series, than things that happened early in the game.
Yeah, it sucks the life out of you when stuff like that happens.
Szymborski, a couple of extras. Curry now to come get it. Near side. Szymborski for 3. That's no good. A great rebound by Tavino. He puts it in and 1. How about that, Matt Tavino?
Hey, when things aren't going well, you need something like that. A hustle play gets it back.
Yeah, ball fell right to him and able to convert it with the contact.
There's nobody in this gym that was happier about getting to make that N1 call than that ref who called those 2 fouls on Donahue. I'll tell you right now. It was the same guy, and he's going, oh, thank God somebody hit that kid. I'll guarantee you. Oh, my goodness gracious. Montgomery and South Brunswick tied again at 40, and Matt Davino with a chance to send the Cougs ahead. Oh, my goodness. The sophomore for the lead. No, and it rolls out.
Free throws really not good today for Montgomery.
Davis will walk it over the midcourt line with 12, or 14, I should say. They go near side. Curry, almost gets the steal on Vamula. He's so crafty. I have a moderate observation about Curry in just a second here, as South Brunswick will try to get the final points of the quarter. A stutter step. Now Vamula goes behind his back into the lane. Gordy there to challenge, and he can, and they won't get a shot. Gordy will send it back in his face for good measure. That quarter, guys, to me, noticeably, Curry didn't need to expend all that much energy relative to his normal usage, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
that's a really good point there. He wasn't doing as much as he usually does, which allows him to have that for the fourth quarter when we know we're going to need it the most.
8 minutes left to go in Kingston. Montgomery and South Brunswick tied at 40. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the Mire. It's dusk at Disney, and my alliteration is on point.
Yeah, so are your pats on the back.
That's
too.
right.
Jeez.
This one has been everything that we could have asked for. Montgomery fell behind 16-2 to start the game, and things did not look good. They have come all the way back. And we enter the final quarter the exact same way that we started. 0-0. Stephen Donahue's in foul trouble with 4, but so is Brian Rawls. Same situation for South Brunswick. Gordy. He'll go to the post and go to work. A turnaround for the lead.
Really nice there by Gordy. Just little hook right up and over.
South Brunswick's got to make a decision. They're like hedging the double. I don't understand what it is. It's almost like, do we go? Do we not?
Send it or don't.
Exactly. And listen, I think it's working out for Gordy that they're not sending it.
Well, it helps. He gets to see it coming. He gets to make a decision ahead of time because he can see whether they are or
No. Oh, they're going to get another foul underneath. Oh, and they get Szymborski on the floor. Okay.
I thought that was going to be on Gordy.
I was going to say, if that's Gordy, that's a significant problem.
I think he actually walked away.
Yeah.
It can't be on him.
So they get Szymborski kind of shoving Vamula a little bit from behind. You can hear some Montgomery parents unhappy with that one. I can hear that one all the way down in Florida. Whoever's yelling that one.
Like you said, I disagree a lot.
Yeah. Respectfully, I think that was not the correct call. 2 for 2 for Vamula, and again, we're tied.
Yeah, I have a feeling neither team's really going to pull away. It's going to come right down to the wire.
Curry, great job by Szymborski to gather, and he's hit for 3. Oh, he's going to go to the line for 3, but that one would have been.
That looked good from here.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oy.
See if he can knock down a couple.
Listen, it's no wonder Grundy's bald, man. I'm not even there. I'm not even coaching. I'm just talking for a living. And I don't know how much hair I might have left by the time this is over.
A living? A living?
Well, not really.
Okay, I was going to say, if you got a secret, you better tell me.
Nah. First one from JT's good. Nothing like pixelated crowd noise in the background to get you going on the mire. God, that sounds like garbage. It sounds like garbage in my ears. I hope it sounds better when it's out there in the world.
It's wishful thinking, but I like to think it does.
Oh, my gosh. Szymborski, he leaves the third one short. So this remains the biggest lead of the game for the Cougs. Smith with an interesting closeout there. I wonder if they wanted Antoine to go baseline there because of how he closed out.
And somebody rotating down.
Yeah. He'll go to the lane, and wow, what a finish. That's about as well as you can play it defensively, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And they haven't been finishing inside, so, I mean, to finish on that one of all of them,
now is not the time, I think, for Curry to take this play off. Oh, somebody's got to go get that. Right, and there it was, as we said it. And it's going to end in an easy bucket. That's the first easy bucket South Brunswick's gotten in a while. You saw kind of maybe Montgomery resting a little bit on that offensive possession. And it's a quick 4-0 run. Stephen Donahue's back up off the bench. Gordy will go back for Curry. A three. No good. Knocked up and around. Controlled by Chabra. And a foul.
You can't do that there. Not the place to get a foul. Not the time. And one more and everyone's shooting free throws, right?
Indeed. 17 fouls already on South Brunswick, 6 on Montgomery. So it will be a battle of attrition from the free throw line from here on. Donahue. And an offensive foul. They get it again. Great job that time by Curry in the lane as he steps in and draws the foul on Vamula.
I think what you mentioned about trying to drive people baseline, that was exactly what they did there. They gave the outside part, and then as soon as he did, Curry's waiting.
Levy will check back in for Luke Smith. South Brunswick has gone back ahead now, 46-44. This has been a back-and-forth ball game for the last 2.5 quarters. Montgomery's best player. Possibly the best player in program history. With the ball on his right hand. Don't know what happened right there, and I don't like it. Don't let that happen again, anybody. It's all we need. We have a bad history of that coming down to the end, and we're going to get some internet issues. If you all are connected to the internet back there, get off the internet and use your non-Wi-Fi. This Curry will step back. No good. Off the front rim, and South Brunswick will run the other direction.
They're giving him no room to breathe. We're going to need points from other guys as they've been doing it all night, but we're going to need it down the stretch too.
Antoine's three-pointer is way off the mark. You'll take that if you're Montgomery.
All day.
Now, he is – you'll take that insofar as that shot selection with the defense that was being played. You don't want to give Kalani Antoine any kind of room because the kid can shoot. Don't get me wrong. Came into the game 28 three-pointers. You know, he scores almost 10 points a game off the bench. So can't exactly forget about him. This is the time for 1-4. As Levy will gather, they're going to leave him open. And now they blitz him. Good job by Curry to get in the lane. Extra pass. Donahue for three. No good. And here comes South Brunswick. Montgomery's got to get back. Oh, they got lucky. It's on the court, and Curry's got it. He's going to go between a couple of guys, and let's see what he wants to do now. This is Davis out on him. And what they call it 5 seconds. No, now the other official switched hands. He switched hands and started counting with the other hand. That means he gave the space, and it means Curry separated. He gave him the space, got the 5 second count off, and then a new 5 second count started.
Is he giving it back?
No, I think he's giving a bench warning to Montgomery.
Thought he was giving it back.
And rightly, he's going over to explain himself.
It's going to be a tough one.
This requires an explanation because that's one of those things too. And again, as from the officiating perspective, you can't hide the visual mechanics out there. When somebody does something with their hands the way they did there, essentially acknowledging the call that was just made wasn't right. Those two guys should have got together and said, no, you know what? I took it off because I was the guy on the ball there. Why they were both counting that, I don't know.
Tough break. Got to defend here now.
Gordy, nearly gets a steal. And a jumper in the lane gets somehow to the bottom of the basket. Curry will clear it himself. It's a 4-point lead for South Brunswick, just past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Donahue, as Curry steps back, hits! 48-47!
Yeah, Curry quickly forgetting about that last play. It's in the back of his mind now.
Good job by Gordy to step out in front of Chabra, and South Brunswick's going to call timeout. Curry wants an explanation about something.
Maybe he didn't forget about that play.
No, he didn't. Of course not. Just waiting for the right moment to have his discussion.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's a full timeout for South Brunswick, but no reason to go anywhere. This is the quarterfinals of Central Jersey Group 4, and it's been a good one. South Brunswick 48 and Montgomery 47. Keith Glock, Brandon Fury, and Matt Pogue live from the All-Star Music Resort in Disney World on senior trip. Very happy that we could bring this one to you on the MIRE. Pogue, I got to give it to you. This was a really good idea, bringing this on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. We're saying that now because the game is on and we're on, but yeah. Ambitious is kind of what we do. It's just sometimes we look like we do a good job of it.
2 months ago, we're out having food after a game, and Pogue says, what if we just bring the MIRE to Florida? I was like, oh, all right.
So I've learned a lesson, though. Don't give any crazy idea to Keith Glock because you might just end up doing it.
I was like, well.
What did you say?
I like this idea.
Let's look at bags. What kind of bags do we have? How big of a bag?
We fit the whole MIRE into 2 backpacks and brought it down here. How about that?
Yeah.
If you've ever seen us walk into a gymnasium, you'd be like 2 backpacks with all the crap that you clowns drag into a gym.
Oh, the people at the airport definitely said the same thing. Like, what
I
are
had
these two
to,
idiots doing?
Yeah, I had to. They were like, what in the world?
Why do you have 7 computers?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
Simborski's got a steal. Montgomery with a chance to go back ahead. Curry's got it. This is where he usually is energized. If you want to walk out here on him, they send 2 at the basketball. Levy. And now Simborski. Nobody's going to help it. He's going to have an easy layup.
Easy.
How about that?
That's
Take
the
those
dream.
all day, right?
That's the dream.
A breakdown in communication from South Brunswick defensively. Montgomery's grabbed the lead back. Kalani Antoine. Dribble drive into the middle. That's a great extra pass. And, they're going to get a foul underneath. And both Curry and Simborski can't believe it.
Come on.
They get Curry on that one.
Is that a block, I guess? Or it can't
He
be
called a
reach?
hit. He called a hit. So I guess they said he reached.
Ugh.
So it's 1-1. Vamula hasn't missed the front end of a 1-1 all night, and he keeps that up there. We're tied again.
Back and forth, back and forth.
If you've got a heart condition, go get the nitrous pills, or nitro pill patches, whatever you got. Strap them onto your chest because we're tied for the last 3 minutes of this one. Curry with the basketball.
I think we need a medical disclaimer real quick.
I got a nurse back here. We're fine. Curry for 3. No good. It's off the side of the rim. South Brunswick looking to again get the lead back. It's Levy who's on Vamula, leaving him as little room as humanly possible. You have a rested Davino on the bench ready to rock should the need arise. Chabra's going to try another 3. Oh, my God.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
I think we learned we can't leave him open.
He's doubled up his entire season 3-point total tonight. They have a 3-point lead. It's unreal. Curry's going to try to tie it again. Got it! Unbelievable! Ice water. Just tap the arm right now. Just give it to me. Give me the ice water tap because he's got it. We're tied again.
Back and forth. Yet again.
Unbelievable.
You can hear the student section letting them hear it, too.
Yeah.
Help defense from Simborski. Kalani Antoine from his spot in the corner. No good. And Gordy's going to have the rebound. Montgomery again with a chance to go ahead. 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A berth in the semifinals of Central Jersey Group 4 on the line. Curry.
Oh, I would have given that to Levy there.
Donahue there to help. And now back to Curry so everybody can relax. A ball screen. And Curry's going to go to the hoop and throw up a floater. No good. Gordy is going to look like there was a lot of contact there. No foul call, but Montgomery keeps it.
You know what, that kind of reminded me. Gordy's been a little quiet here in the second half. Maybe see if we can get him a look inside, or he creates his own with an offensive rebound.
We haven't had a ton of missed shots
Yeah.
in the second half. So, to the extent that he's been quiet on the boards, that's just been how it is. Curry right off the inbound for three. No good. And it's knocked out. Curry's got it back again. He'll go to the hoop. And this time it's knocked away and stolen. Donahue's trying to catch up from the back as South Brunswick goes into the lane. And no, what do we get? A timeout for the Vikings. 56.4 to go in the game, and we're tied at 52. My goodness.
I think Curry was just caught with, do I go up with it or do I leave it?
He had the pass. Levy was open, so
Yeah.
I get the decision, but yeah, that's a tough one.
And I guess rightly, right? Levy was expecting Curry to go up with that in that spot. But you know what? I think it was kind of prudent on Curry's part in some way, because I think if he jumps there, he gets called for an offensive foul. There were enough bodies in the lane there that were kind of set and positioned that would have been as risky a play as anything else.
Yeah, leaving your feet on that one. Yeah, it's a
now,
bad
of course,
spot.
it all went to crap. Yeah. But, you know, regardless.
could have been worse. Could have been worse.
It is what it is. All right, so let's talk about this. 52 ticks to go, right? Or 56 ticks to go. You're Montgomery. You certainly don't want South Brunswick to have the final possession, right? I mean, so how hard do you press? Because you also don't want to put them on the line here.
Right, you're in the bonus, so you got to be very careful. I think that you need to at least get out. I mean, I would leave, as much as the 4 threes are killing me, I'd leave Jabra. I would make sure that he's not the guy that you send somebody else to. Other people need more attention.
Need I bring up my favorite mathematical formula ever, regression back to the mean? If my man hits a 5th three-pointer today, then they deserve to win.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the percentages tell you, let him shoot another one. Okay? Now, what the hell do I know? We're about to find out whatever everybody knows in the next 56.4. It's Davis to inbound it. They'll face guard him. They throw all the way up. Levy tips it up in the air, and it's controlled by the Moolah. Oh, my goodness. If there was anybody else in the zip code, they might have been able to corral it. For the moment, Montgomery will let them stay around the outside. You feel like you want to pressure at least to try to make them do something, and maybe they turn it over. That was about as ideal a situation as you could have had there with Chabra with the ball in his hands out that far. Here's Damian Downs. He is very capable as a scorer. South Brunswick, indeed, is probably going to get the last shot here. And now it's Davis. He says, get out of the way. You can't foul with 7. Now 6. It's Chabra with 5. We're still tied. We need a bucket here from somebody. They go inside, leave him all alone. They miss a layup. We're going to overtime.
Oh, my God.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, man.
It's bonus basketball coming in the Central Jersey quarterfinals.
You got to be kidding me. Oh, my God.
Montgomery has snatched overtime from the jaws of defeat with that missed layup.
That was it was 3/4 of the way down.
Man, you want to talk about end-of-game missed layups that Montgomery's benefited from this season?
North
Hunterdon right now.
Oh, my God.
And last time it worked out, we went overtime at North Hunterdon, and things are all good. 4 minutes on the clock.
Oh, my God.
And Montgomery and South Brunswick will play overtime. Told you to get the patches.
All right, I'm not laughing at your.
Told you to get the strap.
Oh, my God.
If you got other ones, keep them on standby. You never know how long this is going to go. Oh, and I get the spinny wheel, and I have the heart attack.
That's worse than anything else.
Yeah, this is
a bad situation.
More crazy.
It's a bad situation for me. If anybody else has any extra patches, bring them for me, because I might need them. We'll turn Fury down for a moment here because you can always feel free when you're going to take your headset off to turn your volume down. Hold on one second.
This is all new to me. I don't know how to use this stuff. We're always upgrading here at the MIRE. All right.
All righty.
4 more minutes.
Here we go.
I don't know if I could do this for 4 more minutes.
You can, I have a ton of faith in you. There's a conversation that I would love to be able to tell you what's happening right now at the scorer's table, but I don't know. I think they may be talking timeouts. Grundy's saying he's got 3. I think South Brunswick is saying no.
Oh, it's all right, though.
That's what the scoreboard says, by the way, in terms of timeouts. 1 for South Brunswick and 3 for Montgomery. We jump it up, and South Brunswick again controls the tip of overtime as they did the opening tip of the game. And here we go. 4 minutes for all the marbles. How do you not get the ball to Vamula at the end of that regulation?
Tuck was right. It just keeps happening.
Montgomery leaves him alone there. It's a miss, but a cleanup from Damian Downs. So now the superstar of this team, Ryan Curry, will lead the Cougs into a set of offense. And Szymborski, we're going to get a blocking foul that time. That was a relatively easy call that time.
He was well off to the side.
And JT, I think that was essentially why JT went, as hard as he did to that spot.
I can get the shoulder and get my shot up.
Yes. So 9 team fouls now on South Brunswick as Szymborski will go to the line for 2 to try to tie. So every foul from here to the end is 2 for Montgomery. Montgomery only with 7 team fouls. So it'll be 1-1 on the next 2 non-shooting fouls for South Brunswick. And Szymborski with a friendly roll.
Flair for the dramatic, JT.
And once again, we're tied. Gordy with a high hand on Chabra.
I like to see that.
They go into the middle. That's a dangerous pass. Downs with an even more spectacular finish.
That's a tough shot.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That's off to them there. That's as good as it gets.
Curry, as he'll go with an in-and-out dribble. Kicks it back outside. Levy, no reason to hurry. Somebody's just got to go help. And Curry does there. Ryan gains himself some space. And he'll try to get a screen from Gordy. Instead, it'll be Szymborski. And now maybe a more favorable matchup. Ryan on his left hand. He goes to the lane. He's got it.
Wow.
Tied again.
That offhand, off-foot layup gets it again.
He's so good at doing what you don't expect to do, and that's what undersized finishers do at the rim.
Yeah, that's something you see Rondo doing in the NBA a whole lot. Well, used to more.
Why are you saying? Because he's old and I'm old? There's a Vamula. He somehow gets free for a 3.
Listen, I can't make the connections in the head for you.
Oh,
you got to
God.
figure out what I meant.
3-pointer for Vamula. Curry with a couple of stutter steps, and now he's got Chabra on him. They like this matchup, certainly. They'll blitz him, and Vamula says, just get away. I got it now. But Curry's going to go to the lane, and it's out of bounds. Wow, he got lucky there, too, that it didn't hit him on the way out. And the spinny wheel makes me very nervous.
Should I let it go?
Disney Internet, come on, don't do this to us now. Don't do it to us now. I think good old Walt is just sitting down there, frozen somewhere, toying with us.
Mess with him. Turn it off, turn it on.
Gordy. Back outside and Curry for 3.
Yes! Let's go!
Tied again at 59 and a timeout for the Cougs.
That's huge.
Listen,
oh my God.
all right, so now I'm going to say it again now. If you are a college coach and you're watching this live or you're watching it on the MIRE, the season isn't over. Get out the national letters of intent. Pull one out of your pocket and walk over to the bench when you're done and just throw them over there for this kid. What were you waiting for? But until now, I don't really know, and I don't really care. If he hasn't proven it to you now, I don't know what else is going to happen to change your mind.
It's just unreal. He continues to make big shot after big shot after big shot, and really just carry this team right now in overtime.
If you want, and you always hope, I think as a fan, and we certainly do with the MIRE, that end of the season will bring a little bit of fun and a little bit of drama. It doesn't get any funner, and there doesn't get much more drama than this, everybody. It's overtime in the Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. South Brunswick and Montgomery tied at 59. If you've joined us any time in the last 3+ quarters, Montgomery found itself in a 16-2 hole to start this game, and they sleptwalked through about the first 4 minutes of this one before coming all the way back, and it's mostly been Ryan Curry carrying this team on his back as they've needed three-pointer after three-pointer and bucket after bucket.
He's always willing to take the shot, too. He's never shied away from it.
95 seconds to go in the first overtime, dare I say.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't, but
This is Vamula. They blitz off the screen, does Montgomery. Donahue, good job and another great shot.
Yeah.
Man, listen, if Kalani Antoine there on that one, if South Brunswick's going to make big shots like this, you know what? You got to tip your hat. Curry with a step back. A three. No good. It's off the front rim. And South Brunswick with a rebound. Minute to go. You got to go now here. You can't let him stay back there all day. Under a minute to go. Got to pressure the ball here. Got to pressure the ball as they go inside, and now they feed back out. A three, yes.
Oh, no.
But no, that's okay. I actually think that's all right. It's a 5-point game, but you got the ball back. I'd almost rather that. Timeout maybe here, Grundy. Yep, absolutely. Curry just found himself in an awkward space, and you quickly see Luke Smith up off the bench, and no shock there as Montgomery now finds itself in the biggest hole that it has in the last quarter and a half.
yeah, get the shooters on the court. I mean, you know they're going to double Curry. It's just a matter of when it's coming, but somebody's got to be ready to just pull the trigger when it gets to him.
Someone's going to have to make a big shot right now if they want to extend this season.
It was Damian Downs on the three-pointer. I actually am shocked that he took the three.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. It was certainly not the wise play,
No,
but it worked out.
You could dribble that. Nobody was around him. Take a little more
Don't do
time.
anything.
Yeah.
Stand there in the corner. There was nobody near him.
Just wait.
You know, but I mean, maybe that speaks to South Brunswick and just their philosophy on how they want to play it, and they have kind of so much confidence in how they're going to play offense that you could tell Downs that's fine. Up 2 in overtime, I suspect you might have wanted to have burned a couple more seconds and maybe go to the line for those, but what do I know?
Yeah, but when you hit that shot, though, it's like, no, coach, don't worry. Yeah, I had a good plan.
Like, no, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. All right, Montgomery with the basketball, down by 5 in the waning seconds of overtime. But as things kind of happen, in late game situations here, this 40-point three could last us 7 minutes, depending on how the buckets and the free throws go.
Well, everybody in the bonus, sure.
It'll be Szymborski. Inbounds right to Curry. Can't take up too much time here as they run a quick inbound play. Curry will look for a ball screen from Gordy and gets it. He pulls up. He's got room. Oh, he can't get it to go. It's out of bounds off South Brunswick. Yep, absolutely. Montgomery with a little bit of a break there.
Oh, man. I
Thought
that one was going to go. Yeah.
It looked good.
Just got to get one more open shot up.
You don't need a three either. You don't.
No,
It's
don't.
helpful. They'll go to Curry there. Fade away from the corner for three. No good. Montgomery, can they get another crack at it? No. Got a foul, though. Got a foul now. Got a foul. They throw all the way down court, and it's going to end up in an easy layup. Now they have to hurry. Got to hurry right now. Curry down 7. From forever away. No good. And the rebound to South Brunswick, and it's going to be tough from here. Needed one of those last couple to fall. $11.6 to go, potentially in the Cougar season. Man. 4th foul on Levy, though certainly not something to be concerned with at this point in the game. Vamula has got a free throw. Officials telling the South Brunswick bench to sit down. It's now an 8-point lead for the Vikes. and now 9. So as Curry comes up and is going to end his Montgomery career with a 3, I mean, I don't know why anybody would be shocked at that. And you see it there, the embrace between a captain and a coach. One of the best players in the history of the program and the head coach with an embrace to end the Cougar season in 21-22 in overtime of the Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. 68-62. You can come on back here to us, Mr. Pogue, if you like, as we'll turn off the the pixelated crowd noise for you. That was a Brando about, as unbelievable a game and an unbelievable an effort as we've seen from a team in a while, and certainly didn't end the way that they wanted to. But as you watch that, as certainly one of his best friends, and somebody with a lot of skin invested in this game as a member of the student body and everything.
Yeah, congrats, Ryan, the team. Great career to him and Gordy and the other seniors, and this whole team played great this year. Ups and downs, didn't start the way you wanted it to, but you found yourself getting a playoff win and chance for 2. That's all you can ask for. This
is, when we get to the conclusion of this, as we do every year, it's kind of like an unceremonious ending, but something that I can tell you that we at the MIRE look forward to basketball such an incredible amount, certainly because of the loyalty that the program has shown to us through the years, and not only that, just the relationship that the coaches and the players and the parents and the alumni, and we've been fortunate enough to be kind of brought into that a little bit, and we feel every bit like the second cousin, maybe like once removed from this.
Yeah, but we make Thanksgiving fun, so.
That is true. We're the guy that brings the weird. It's kind of how we do.
Yeah.
Brando, man.
My last one.
This is it. This was senior trip was where it started for you, for us, as we sat here and watched it in this exact room.
I remember that phone call.
Yeah.
What? How do I? Why? It's not working.
We just figured we'll just bring it here. We won't do it to anybody else.
Yeah, probably a good thing, right?
Listen, man, no jokes from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for everything in the last 3 seasons. And to say that I had fun doing this with you, a dramatic understatement. And as you head off to Marist, the best of luck. Not that you will need it, but thank you, and the world is your oyster, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Can't thank you enough.
You? Whatever.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Montgomery has, unfortunately, had a season come to an end. South Brunswick 68 and Montgomery 62 in the quarterfinals of Central Jersey Group 4. This production and all productions of the MIRE are the sole property of the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account without the express consent of the MIRE is prohibited until whenever. The spring, I don't know. The fall, I don't know. It'll certainly be the fall, I guess, right? At least. Hopefully before then. For Brandon Fury, sorry, for the last time. And Matt Pogue and the MIRE, I'm Keith Glock. Thanks for watching.